Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now, today's episode, we're going to talk about where you can find the best bank account bonuses at. Of course, we post them here, but what if you want to maximize and play as aggressive as possible? Where should you look? Where are these offers hidden? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through a few sites, as well as tips and tricks, things that I picked up along the way to help you get even more profitable content and money in your pocket. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. So, of course, here, the channel, this is a dedicated bank bonus hunting channel with about 2 videos a week on either a bonus or a 101 topic. But the reality of it is we could talk about a bonus every single day and never run out of bonuses. There are just that many going on, that many banks. It doesn't mean we'd all be eligible for 365 bonuses, but you get the point. So if you want to go branch out and find bonuses on your own, maybe even in your local area, local community, or nationwide, where should you go? Well, these are going to be some sites I use in no particular order. None of this is sponsored. These are sites that I get value from, so I'm dropping them along the way to you. And so starting out, you have a tried and true classic, the good Doctor of Credit. Doctor of Credit's been a game for quite some time, and the benefit here is that they have historical perspective on their posts, right? A lot of times they just keep re-updating the posts because these banks run the same offers. And so you can see historically what's been the best offer, when should I strike, when should I not. You can see the terms change over time. Plus you get a lot of crowdsourced data from the, all the quarters of them running this, so what works as a direct deposit, what doesn't. They also do a good job of kind of summarizing the terms and conditions and the fine print and everything like that. In addition to that, some nice things they do is they can also, with referral bonuses, I make a lot of videos based on referral links. Well, they also set up, pages where you can post your referral links, and I don't believe they get anything from that. It's just a nice thing to do for the readers. So, we always touch on the referral program for some of these bonuses. So if you want to try to post your link, I still post my link there, even though I make the video about it. It's worth a try. And the only downside here is that, when they do post about a ton of stuff, any type of deal, which, I'm not personally interested in, but I think that's fine, because it's their site, and other people may find it interesting. The other thing is, they're never going to find all the bonuses, right? Now, you can submit a bonus to them, and they will post about it, but I believe they focus on things that are $100 or more, which for most people is probably fine, but for me, I've signed up for accounts as low as $5, so you just got to keep that in mind. This is going to give you a wide range of bonuses, but it's not going to give you everything. Now, the next site we have here is another one of my favorites, and that is everybankbonus.com. Again, named perfectly. And what you do here is, it's basically Doctor of Credit, but hyper-focused on bonuses. But they have filters set in place where you can filter by state, by deposit amount, direct deposit or not, by how much you can direct deposit, by personal or business, accounts like that. And this is really helpful to, find some other bonuses out there as well. Now, I found they don't have nearly as many as the Doctor of Credit. I don't believe they have a big enough network to, reach that far, but it's still pretty nice. They also have if you create an account, you can kind of make your own bonus tracker of sorts. Now, I don't do that because we have the spreadsheet that's linked down below on Google Drive if you want it, but they also have like a weekly recap. I think they send out a twice weekly email, and hey, here are the bonuses that posted to our site, so you don't even have to go and check. I sign up for that as well. Now, this one doesn't have a lot of crowdsourced information, and I think it could be updated a little bit more, but overall, I do like the clean look. I like that you can filter through it, so I will check here or sign up for their email as well. They also have a companion site called everydatapoint.com that if you need data points on a certain bank, you can check that. Now, some of their data points are dated, but a lot of these banks don't really update things as often, so it can be a good guidepost to take a look at as well. Personally, I wish they would merge it into one site, but those are 2 sites. All these will be linked down below, by the way. So that's another one of my favorite. Now, you have another one called bankbonus.com, which is like a really expansive list, and they do capture a ton of different bonuses. Fintech, neo, credit unions, regionals, things like that. They do have some filters as well. I don't know they filter as good as every bank bonus, but they have such a wide range of content. I will usually find myself just clicking through there over and over again, maybe once a month, but just click through all the pages, at least in my state, to see if there's anything I missed that I'm eligible for or not. Again, not nearly as much crowdsourced information as the Doctor of Credit has, but again, you can go through the terms and conditions yourself and kind of figure it out, so that's another resource. Now, in addition to that, those are the few sites. Now, there's some tricks out there as well, and you might think, well, you could just go to the bank's website and see what they offer, and sometimes that actually works, but sometimes you have to be careful about which site you end up on, and not much site, but I mean, sometimes banks do like A/B testing like any other company does. and they can base it off like cookies that they assign for your browser. So if you land on one Fifth Third site, they might say, well, I'm going to try to serve you up just a checking account with no offers, see if you bite. And if you come back later, maybe I try to serve you up a $200 offer. And then lastly, I try to serve you up a $375 offer. So even if you go to the bank site, you might not find the best offer initially. That's why sometimes people recommend going in incognito mode. But again, that's also why some of these sites will post the highest offer so you'll know which one you're looking for. But a lot of credit unions and smaller banks, they don't really mess around with all this, and they simply do post their offer right on the main page. So simply going to the banks that you know works, or better yet, searching for something like Huntington checking bonus, Fifth Third checking bonus, that'll usually lead you to down some path. There's Danny Deal Guru, there's Hustler Money, Money's My Life. There's a bunch of other different sites on here that, granted, I'm just skimming over now, but you can end up pinging based on just a keyword search like that. And that's what I'll do a lot as well. Now, additionally, you can just Google search best bank bonuses, but you usually end up finding a generic list from Forbes or Bankrate.com or something like that, something that you'll probably already have, covered, of course. But there's a few others that people don't generally talk about, and that's number one is emails. Now, when you sign up, of course, you're giving people an email address, banks an email address, and they want to send you all the emails, so you sign up. And more often than not, these emails are trash and not really worth it. But sometimes they can be worth it. You can sign up for Citi, for example. I ended up getting like an email from Citi for like their wealth management account that, maybe you would have found that bonus somewhere else, or maybe you wouldn't have, but it comes direct to your email box and you may or may not be interested in it. That can be helpful. In addition to that, some of the neobanks do run promotions and things like that they email you from time to time. Fully expect the 99% of the emails you get to be absolute garbage, but the 1% you get could potentially be profitable, and that's really helpful to keep in mind. So I don't, of course, make a fake email address and use that over your real daily use email address or even your work email address. But I never really opt out of emails, because if you opt out, you're basically dead to that company as a lead, as a marketing lead. So I always stay opted in. If you get one or two decent offers a year to your fake AOL email address from the 90s, then I think it's worth it. Now, I have two more options here depending on how aggressive you want to be. So the first one is you could actually road trip for bonuses, right? Because a lot of these bonuses, they don't mind you applying in branch. So I've told the story before. The Wells Fargo best business bonus I've ever seen was for $1,500, deposit $5,000 for 60 days, something like that. They paid you out $1,500. Amazing offer. So you had to apply in branch, though. There's no branch where I live. So for $1,500, I'm like, sure, I will apply or book an appointment. My closest branch was in Illinois. But if I'm going that way anyways, then I might as well see what else is in Illinois. And BMO Harris was there as well, which is also not in my state. So I booked an appointment there. I hit BMO for 4 accounts, 2 personal, 2 business, signed up in branch all at one time, and had my promo codes ready because I had to bring the promo code in branch. Then walked down the street. It was literally down the street to Wells Fargo. Hit them for their bonus, plus got the Platinum credit card as well. Of course, his name Platinum was another $300 bonus. So that was like a $2,000 after expense. It cost me like $100 round trip between gas and food. If you subtract that, you're making maybe $2,300 round trip for a day's worth of work, which really isn't that bad. Now, again, most bonuses aren't going to be $1,500, and that's really what made it worth it. But some people live close to state lines. I'm not that far from Ohio and Indiana, so you could go into those states and make a day of it, make a run of it, bring a play or two. That's the real trick. You bring a play or two, you're really going to do some damage. So again, in branch, usually a good idea. Now to that, and if you go back to like every bank bonus, you can again filter by state, and that's kind of what I did to see what's going on in Indiana, what's going on in these other states, right? Now to that, if you're traveling, I was in New York once, and I knew that Citi had a business account that had to open in branch, so I went in branch, and I was like, hey, I want to apply for this, and the banker was happy to do it, showed me the binder of all the offers, and signed me right up. But what I also did was I went down the street and I said, hey, there's a Santander Bank, and there's a TD Bank, and all these banks I don't have in my home state. So I walked in and went up to the counter and said, hey, do you guys have any bank bonuses? What I learned is the term you need to use is promotional offers, because that's the term, that's how they talk about it. So you go up to the counter, to the teller, and say, hey, I'm interested in a new account. Do you have any promotional offers going on? Now, I got, weirdly enough, Santander told me to apply online, which wasn't helpful and kind of weird. And at the time, I ended up striking out on all of them, but I still nailed the Citi one, so that works. But again, you just walk in. Again, the thing you got to remember, as I've said it before, is bankers want new customers, right? So if you walk in ready to open up a new account with your promo code and your opening deposit and your documentation, you're their best friend because they don't have to sell you. We all know what you're here for, right? And so it seems weird. And again, you got to care a little bit to go cold calling on, vacation to do this. But I had a great time doing it, honestly. I went by myself and just made my rounds up and down the street. And you get one bonus. I mean, it works. So there you go. But overall, those are some tips. Those are some locations where you can find bonuses aside from just watching this channel. So, of course, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every week on how to make banks money into your money. My question for you guys is let me know where are some places that you look. What are some of your favorite sites besides this one, of course? And let me know the craziest thing you've done to track down a bonus. Do you go across state lines? Do you travel? How much money would it take? Or are you just going to cold call? I'd love to hear your thoughts and see how aggressive you guys are going after these bonuses. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching and talk to you very soon in the next one.